Welcome back to the Travis Jones Show. You have my co-host with me, Olivia Jones. Welcome, Olivia.
Hello, Travis.
Now, this is part 2 of the pandemic podcast. We're talking re-establishing your marketing. We're talking about reinventing your business model so we can all grow out of this pandemic. You know, for us, we are in Melbourne. We are in stage 4 lockdown, stage 4, which means Liv shaved my head today with some clippers because the hairdressers are closed. Now, I haven't had a shaved head in a while. I feel like I should be on the show Prison Break. If there was a new season, I would 100%...
The better looking Prison Break.
I would 100% jump on it.
But don't underestimate, I did that with a lot of effort. There was multiple adjustment things that I had to use and different heights, and I did lots of layers. It doesn't look like it, but there's layers.
There is layers. Liv has been increasing her skill set over this lockdown. I feel like she's going to come out of it with many talents.
Also dyed my sister's hair.
She's dyed her sister's hair. She's shaved my head, and she's learned many other talents as well. So with this, guys, we're going to get into the actual podcast. Now you know more about our lives together. But
they watched it on your Instagram story, Trav. Come on.
If you do follow me on Travis Jones Entrepreneur, you can see all the insights into our life. And
if you want the real insights, you can follow at the _Liv_Jones.
And you can get insight into our life and our dynamic with how I married the most frustrating person in the world. Probably the person.
Fascinating. That's
fascinating. The word
Tony
is
Robbins says.
Fascinating, not frustrating. But no, you're not frustrating. You're just more stubborn than me.
Challenge.
And then you go towards your challenges in life so you can grow as an individual. So you're saying that you married me in order to make you a better person. Exactly. And you do make me a better person.
I don't think anyone...
You are my challenge and my growth vehicle.
I am your challenge. I don't think anyone thought, do you know what, I really want to marry that woman. She drives me crazy. She's going to be great for my personal development.
She's going to force me to really hone my character
my
traits.
Inner challenge. You're just going to... Look at your chi. It's just...
my aura has grown and my kindness and patience has gone 10x. Grant Cardone would say 10x.
10x. You might have to TM that.
So trademark. Grant Cardone. With this, guys, so re-establishing your marketing, I think this is one of the most key things that we have to understand. Coming out of this, we're coming out over the next 6 weeks in Victoria. The rest of Australia is out of lockdown. They have their freedom. Everywhere in America seems to be coming out as well. Other parts of the world coming out of lockdown, and we need to start growing our businesses again, our fitness businesses. I think that's one of the most crucial things is growth. And, growth comes from acquiring new clients. Acquiring new clients comes from marketing. When we're looking at our marketing, we have essentially social media paid marketing. We have free social media marketing. If your organic reach is better than my Facebook's. You have essentially flyers. If you'd like to do flyers, there's word of mouth marketing as well. There's referrals. So there's a raft of different marketing methods that you can go down, and we're going to cover off a bunch today before we go into, and then after that we'll go into our business model revamp, and they're sort of intertwined. Your business model and your marketing are very intertwined because your business model is going to reflect in your marketing output as well, so your intro offers into your business.
But also your marketing plan.
Yeah.
Which is key.
Yes, this is very key, very key. So which one do you want to talk about first, Olivia?
Well, I think the one most people want to know about first is always Facebook marketing. I think the other things are fun, but everyone likes the, I suppose, the excitement, the adrenaline rush of a good Facebook ad.
Is it the adrenaline rush of going to the casino and throwing your money and hoping that Zuckerberg gives you something?
I'm pretty sure there's a whole city called Vegas that's built around that adrenaline rush.
Yes, exactly.
That and strippers.
Both are very good businesses.
Adrenaline rush, both excellent business models. So if you could get both of them to work together in conjunction, it's
but you can't.
Pinky in the brain.
You can't market strippers on Facebook.
That's why, because it's too powerful.
So this is also true. So when we're looking at this, guys, marketing on social media, obviously you need to understand your cost per lead and your cost per acquisition is two different things. There's a bunch of Facebook metrics we're not going to get into today. Mm-hmm. That is a very deep dive.
Just put a CPC, CPM, CPL, CPO, CPA.
some
Like just
acronyms
start
and-
putting all the acronyms with the CP in front of them and
we're
you'll be
good
fine.
to go. I think for us, it's understanding cost per leads and
I feel like
cost
I'm talking to a millennial.
cost per acquisitions, and also that all is also determined on what you're actually marketing. I think that's one of the biggest things. You know, so many people come to us when we start to help them grow their business, their fitness business with our FitPro formula, and they've tried Facebook marketing, it's not working, or they're marketing free offers on Facebook, or they're marketing, you know, high ticket on Facebook, and they aren't spending enough money to get the cost per acquisition, and they feel that, you know, they'll spend $100, $200 here or there, and they're not getting the result they're after, and therefore either Facebook ads doesn't work in general, so they're placing a limiting belief on themselves, or they just think they just don't work in their area or for them. They're like, oh, my area is too small, and whereas I would say they would work even better.
It does. It opens up so many more options for you. And I think this is something that we talk about, you know, when it comes down to things like some of the organic strategies we're going to talk about, that especially coming out of something like COVID, there's such a strong sense of community right now. You know, everybody wants to help everybody. Nobody really wants to see anybody struggle any more than they already have. So if you do have a gym, a single gym, and if you are, you know, still in your business and you do have a smaller community, then arguably you're in a much better position to execute on most marketing strategies.
I look at our gyms. So we have, you know, 14 gyms coming with lockdown, and whereas when we had one single gym, my marketing strategies would be slightly different. You know, I remember, you know, running one gym, and I would do a seminar and 100 people would turn up. I'd even use Facebook ads to promote that seminar. Also word of mouth I used to do after seminars. Liv's mum came to my first ever seminar.
I couldn't be there, so I sent my mum.
Quite fantastic.
I was in Hong Kong.
And then I ended up dating Liv, and Liv's mum thought I was a bikie because I had a shaved head then also.
I think it was the tattoos,
to be fair. The tattooed man who swore a bit in the seminar, and she
did say
didn't
not to
appreciate the swearing. But when we're saying this, I digress into stories. But when we're looking at this, you know, you should be doing marketing. You should be getting your, you know, post-COVID body back. You know, lose the quarantine 15. I think, you know, doing these seminars like this can really start to harness your community again. And doing seminars, I believe, in strategic partnerships is awesome right now, if you don't have limits, obviously, with the amount of people that are coming down, but doing seminars in a Zoom setting where you can rely on strategic partners could also work. So if you don't currently do nutrition, a strategic partner could be a nutritionist. If you don't currently, you know, are doing chiropractic work, or naturopathy, or anything similar to that. It's like, look at who is aligned with your clients. Like, who else do they go to? Beauty salons who do natural makeup and natural beauty skincare. You could align with 3 or 4 speakers and get their email lists and their networks, and your email lists and your networks, and you could get them in a room, and each person brings like 20 to 30. They could talk for 15 to 20 minutes. You can combine the email lists together, and you could send everyone out an offer after the seminar. Or what you could do is you could sell a package at the end of it, which could be an intro into every single person's service, where you split the money from that. Now, I think that would be really cool. So, you know, they might get a facial plus a 21-day kickstart challenge plus 2 chiropractic sessions, and it's like a, you know, post-COVID. This is a great idea I'm running with right now. It's like, if I don't say so myself.
You do.
I do. It's on the podcast. I think you could combine this together, and I would combine this together to be the ultimate transformation seminar to get yourself back post-COVID. You sell it, split the money. You're all getting people into your business, and you're acquiring them for, you know, pretty much next to nothing if you're not doing paid marketing. And you can start getting their first 20, 30 clients in your door as of, you know, day dot. Though, that is just one angle.
Of many.
Now you go.
Well, I think of any of them, something that's very important for all of these strategies is to understand how many people you're trying to do. I think a lot of people, when they do marketing, the number one mistake they make is that they never really set any targets or goals. So they never really know whether they're winning or losing, whether the marketing's working or whether it's bringing in the people that they want. They just throw money in. That's obviously where most people we see that come because they've thrown money at Facebook marketing, hundreds, thousands, whatever dollars, and they don't really know what happened after that. And I think some of that comes down to the offer. And you've mentioned there a number of offers. Now, that seminar only works, the Facebook marketing only works if there's an offer, something that people, can't really resist. We used to call them irresistible offers. And it has to be a little bite-sized piece. It's the idea of someone just sitting down for a 15-minute massage. They're willing to give you 15 minutes. Maybe they won't give you an hour and a half, but they'll give you 15 minutes. This idea of them having a little taster, a little bite-sized piece of something to understand that maybe they really do want a little bit more. And that's the idea behind, I think, where most people go wrong with any kind of marketing is their call to action kind of sucks.
Imagine that, right? I remember when they were giving away free tubs of Ben and Jerry's.
I remember that. You made me bring you two.
And they were doing it down on
Chapel Street.
Literally Chapel Street, which is the other side of Melbourne. And we went across Melbourne to do it. And if you go and get a small tub of Ben and Jerry's, okay, it's a bite-size, snap-off piece. And you would purchase more. I think it's the same sort of thing when we're looking at this, but that's a free offer. That's a free, very free, irresistible offer. But when they're looking at that, they understand their cost per acquisition possibly, and they're acquiring new clients for overpriced ice cream that sometimes people would say overpriced, some people wouldn't. But when we're looking at this, we have to understand, okay, what is your irresistible offer? People aren't on Facebook going, you know what, I want to join up to a gym today. No, they're on Facebook and Instagram going, oh, I wonder what is in my algorithm today. I wonder what my friend...
I don't think that's what they're thinking. I don't.
They're like,
I think they're wondering what Kim Kardashian's doing now that Keeping Up with the Kardashians is finished.
Has it?
I don't know. I see it on people's stories.
I'm not keeping up with them.
You're not keeping up.
So when we're looking at this,
I think Melissa told me.
I wonder what my friend's eating for lunch. Maybe that's what they think. I don't know. But they're on Facebook not to buy your product. They're only going to click on your product if there is something that's irresistible.
Tempting.
Yes, it's like a tempter. So when we're looking at this, it has to be I'm currently lacking in fitness. If you're a body transformation based gym, you are helping them lose the first 5 kilos guaranteed in 21 days or 2 inches or drop a dress size or whatever it is. It's something sexy that they want to achieve. They're like top of mind. They're like, yeah, I want that. And there's an irresistible price. You don't have to put price on your page. If it is an irresistible price, I would put it in your ad copy. But if it's not an irresistible price, then don't put in your ad copy, and it comes down to you as a competent salesperson.
And that's another podcast.
Yes, it is indeed.
It's a whole nother podcast.
But with this, you need a sexy, irresistible offer, and you can't. And when I look at this as well, it's not a long, just like not join my 12-month program.
No.
People don't want long-term commitment. Imagine if you walked up to a girl in a bar and say, hey, you want to get married? Now, 1 in 300, maybe it depends on the country you're in really, but 1 in 2,000.
What website you're on.
Exactly. When we're looking at this, there's going to be a very low percentage.
Yeah,
that's what
it's not.
The percentage is low.
It's not good.
And also, if you walk
the odds
up
are
to
not
it,
in your
we
favor.
bring it down a little bit. So that's join my 1-year program. During my 6-month program, it's like me walking up to a girl and it's like, hey, let's go home right now. Now, when we're
higher
looking at
chances
this,
after
the
2 a.m.
percentages will increase. And also, yes, it's just like marketing. It depends on where you're targeting the offer. So if we're putting it in front of different people or at different times, the offer is going to be more likely to get taken up. But if I do go up to a girl and say, hey, would you like a glass of champagne or a glass of wine? Depends if bar, club, wherever we're at, a cruiser, depends on what's going
Instantly.
on.
Again, irresistible offer, Trev.
It depends on what's going on there. And you might go up to a group of girls and buy them all a bottle of champagne. Now, in that, it's putting an irresistible offer. I haven't ever gone into a club and picked up a girl. So with this, it's just what I've seen people do. And I felt like they were marketing irresistible offers. So when I was looking at this,
that man's a genius.
You never single out the one girl. You want to get the group of girls because obviously strength in numbers. There's a percentages game.
Are we still talking about marketing or dating?
Well, dating is marketing.
Yeah,
Marketing
I'm
is
just
dating,
saying.
and
I
so is
feel
fitness. We're talking about something that everyone can relate to.
Travis Jones' podcast on dating 101.
Well, you want to have a smile, and you want as in there as well. So I think the biggest thing with this, it comes down to your image and perception with your marketing, and when you're giving that bottle of champagne, whether they're going to take the champagne and take you up on that first initial date. And when you're coming in for the 21-day offer, it's like that initial bottle of champagne. It's pretty irresistible. You seem to have what they want, but they're not going to fully commit for the 6 months or the year program until they understand, are you actually what they perceive and what you're giving them, is this the real deal? Or are you putting up a facade? So I think with this, the 21 days or 28 days or 6 weeks is that first initial offer. It's bite-sized. It's no huge commitment. They're willing to take it up, just like the bowl of champagne.
A little bit fizzy.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, hey, this is a taste, so let's see what's going on. And then they come in and they're like, you know what? This community is amazing. This person actually has some education. Wow, I didn't know training with other people in a semi-private environment was motivating. This person, and they did follow through with what they said. You know, he doesn't have just a picture of the car or whatever it is that you're doing. You actually have it. Or you actually do have a personality. You actually do make me laugh, just like I make my wife laugh all the time. So with this, it's like there's some substance to the program. And that's what people want, is substance, right?
And I think everything you're talking about, I know people are either giggling or rolling their eyes. Either way, the point that is being made is a fun one, and it's a fun way of looking at why marketing should be a little bit fun, a little bit cheeky, and make sure that you're really looking for ways to engage the right person, the right people that you want to get the outcome that you want. And again, that requires a plan. Like, what is the next step for them? You know, there needs to be a confidence to your marketing, a flow and a natural client journey and a progression through. Otherwise, how do they know what goals they want? How do they know what they're going to achieve and how they're going to achieve it? And that comes down to Ash, our dog, also featuring on the podcast today, making sure that, you know, you're giving them that journey and you're giving them that opportunity to test the process, but also understand where they're going. Where is this going? Because isn't that just the age-old thing with a girl? Where is this going?
But 100%. But I think when we're looking at our marketing as well, we need to be targeted. Just 100%. Like when you're coming into a bar, you're not going to go to the. For me, I wouldn't go to a bar, but and try and pick up a girl. But
no, I would hope not. This would be a very different podcast. I'm not going to go to the over 60s singles night, am I? Because my targeting for the offer that I'm trying to go for would be incorrect. And yet, although with marketing, much like this, you would probably have a much better strike.
Exactly. But with this, what you have to look at is like, where is my ideal customer hanging out? And I think that's what you have to look at. So it's like, where is my ideal customer hanging out? What is my niche market? Okay, what age group? Where is my age group hanging out? Do I need to go into more detailed marketing? So which clubs is going to be the best offer for me, or the worst offer for me? I think you have to look at that, and then you have to go in with your dialogue. So that comes down to the copy of your marketing as well.
Yeah. But also on that, like, you don't just talk to one girl and then storm out of the club and be like, this club has got nothing good.
And this comes down to your click-through rate,
click-through rate. You know, you've got to understand the numbers. You've got to understand that a couple of different people you might test the offer on, they're not really about it. You're going to find the right one. So just play the numbers.
100%, because, you know, dating's a numbers game, marketing's a numbers game. When we're looking at that click-through rate, you know, if it's a 2% click-through rate, I mean, you're going to have a lower cost per lead because your cost per click is going to be cheaper. So that's like 2 people click on your ad out of 1,000 people.
Yeah.
So it's the same as like if you walk up to 100 girls, you're more likely to, you know, be able to buy the champagne. You know, there might be a 4 or 5% click-through rate on you buying that champagne. Out of the 4 or 5 people that buy the champagne, there might be essentially a 25% rate of opt-in. So when we're looking at people clicking on your ad, it's the same sort of thing. If they click on the ad is congruent. So all of a sudden you came up with the champagne, you had a message and dialogue with them when you were drinking that champagne that was congruent with the original message, they're more likely to take the next step as well. So if they click on your ad, they go to the landing page.
More expensive champagne.
Exactly. Depends on which club you're in again. So when we're looking at this, if your landing
page, I don't even
pages,
drink champagne.
I don't drink champagne at all. I drink red wine. But when we're looking at this, or a whiskey. Depends on where we're at.
Well, say, look, if someone had presented to me with a blended whiskey,
if I come to Liv with the right whiskey, she's going to take 100%. The whiskey, and she's like, okay, cool.
Peaty.
So when we're looking at this team, the landing page has to be congruent. That's going to give you a higher chance of opt-in. And then it comes down to your conversation to bring them in on that irresistible offer. So the irresistible offer from that needs to be a trial. And
but
then
the conversation
trial,
also, remember, because before you go like beyond that conversation, you know, I think you've got to remember no girl really wants to be laid out and go, well, this is my house, this is my car, this is my mum, these are my 2 dogs, I have 3 cats, 4 budgies. Like, it's not a concept of selling the features. It's about selling someone on the idea of spending time, being engaged, being interested, you know, and so it has to be more about them than about you.
And I think that's one of the biggest problems with ads as well. You're trying to sell yourself when you really have to sell them. It's like, what's in it for them, not what's about you. So you go like, hey, I've got the Polycorn this and the check that, and these is the certifications, and I'm whatever you have qualifications. You don't lead with that at all. Right? You want to start asking them questions. If you start leading with what's in it for them, people like to talk about themselves. I think that's the biggest thing. So that's the offer. The offer, when you're putting it out there, it's like, what's in it for them? And the features are laid in there a little bit, but if you lead too much with the features, you might say something that they don't even want, which is going to start to get them disregarding your service altogether. So
the features are a way to achieve the outcome that they want. They're a solution.
Yeah, people want the solution, right? People, that's why they're doing skinny teas and lemon detoxes. They just want the easiest possible way to lose the 5 kilos or the 10 pounds.
I have done the lemon detox diet.
100%, right? So it's like people want to know the easiest solution. If they can say you don't have to go to the gym and take these 3 pills and you'll lose 5 kilos, they'll do that. So you don't say, hey, you get like 150 sessions and you do get to train twice a day. People don't want to train twice a day, okay? They would like the option. No, we're looking at general public,
believe
right?
They want the choice.
Yeah, people just want to have many options they can choose so it fits in with their schedule.
Because people don't like commitment.
They don't like commitment.
Because if you put in, you can train 2 times a week, 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. Your click-through rates.
They're like, oh, I don't like
your opt-in rate just plummeted.
Exactly, because all of a sudden you're making them stall.
Too many choices.
If there's hurdles, you'll stop people. So we need to stop having hurdles in play that essentially are stopping people from opting in.
Yes.
So I feel like this is Facebook marketing 101.
It really is. It really is. And I think one of the things that everyone should be looking at in a time like this is offers, because no matter which one we talk about, the seminar, referrals, corporate deals, flyers, anything, there has to be a call to action and there has to be an offer that makes it appealing for someone to go, yep, I'm going to give this person possibly one of, if phone numbers were easy to get, guys around clubs would be killing it. But we're quite protective of our phone number and strangely quite protective of our emails. So I think, everyone needs to look at it and go, okay, phone numbers, you're not entitled to it. You're not entitled to an email. So you need to start to think about what would make someone go, yep, I'm pretty happy for this person to call me, text me, and email me to talk to me about this offer.
Yeah, you're giving something that's sacred, right? Sacred to people, especially if it's a correct number and a correct email. Your offer better be good and better be exciting, and they better want to hear from you, right? So I think that's one of the most crucial things. Now, if we're looking at that, say this is Facebook ads, right? It's giving an offer right in front of the right people, targeting, niching, and all that sort of stuff. We can carry that across to flyers. So it's, you can give flyers out. The flyers are only going to get a very low percentage of people actually act on the flyer. There'll be a higher percentage if it's easier though.
Easy. I think easy, offer, but also the primary reason most people go to a gym is convenience. So if they're seeing the same offer or similar offers in multiple areas, in multiple facets of their life, then obviously they're more likely to feel like it's an expert. You're across lots of different avenues and they're going to be like, oh, this is the guy I saw on Facebook, or they're going to see you on Facebook and be like, hey, this is the guy who was on my flyer.
I believe that's called omnipresence.
Yeah.
So omnipresence is one of the most crucial things, guys. So all of a sudden you become a trusted advisor. Omni what?
You become omnipotent.
Omnipotent. I did not know that that's a word. So you become omnipotent with your omnipresence and you become like a trusted advisor. And I think when you're looking at this, when you're giving a flyer out, it can be slightly better if it's slightly more educational based marketing with a great call to action, and they don't have to bring your flyer in. It's just like, hey, there's 7 places, text, start text interested, text go to this number, because all of a sudden there's a call to action. If not, the flyer will go in the bin. But if you give them an exciting, because think about how many flyers you get, right? There's so many, so much shit that comes in the mail. Most of it's bills. So when we're looking at this, like if I don't look at the mail, Liv does. It depresses me. So when we're looking at this, guys, to stand out, your flyer must be exciting.
Yes.
It's not like hot pink exciting, but it needs to be somewhat bright. It needs to be somewhat an offer that people are like, wow, okay, cool, this is great. And you can lower your cost per entry because you're not paying as much to get in front of the eyeballs. You made to make the call to action super clear and easy for them to act now, because no one is really grabbing your flyer, driving 5 minutes, handing in a flyer. Like very few people. Well, it's just another hurdle.
Well, it's another hurdle, but then also I think people have to decide whether they really want it, where there's a lot less risk involved in texting someone or scanning a QR code or doing something to find out more information or register for more information or do anything that actually gives you the data that you want. And there's pros and cons for all of them, but none of them are going to happen unless it's an irresistible offer. And you tell them what to do. For the love of God, please don't put another flyer with call me on this number and we'll chat about it. No one wants to chat to you. They have friends. They want a call to action with a deal.
Most people don't want to chat to their friends. Let chat alone to the guy or girl at the local gym the offer.
Yeah, no one wants to talk. They resent talking. So don't do it. Don't put it on there.
Resent wasting their time. It's the most valuable resource. So it has to be clear, concise text, right? And then you can follow up with them. Or people who never have known what a QR code is, now they 100% know what a QR code is, because with cafes and everything like that, we're all using QR codes. So again, there's this top of mind awareness of use and ease of getting people's details.
Yeah.
You can easily hook up a QR code for the tech unsavvy people to a Google form. Yeah. And you can go from there. So that's flyers.
Flyers, great. Flyers are awesome. It's also a really great way of doing it with, I think right now in COVID, local businesses are really impassioned to help each other out. I see so many people reaching out to me, people that you take for granted that you see every day, and they are so, they're hurting, particularly for the fitness industry. They see how it's hard for the fitness industry, this whole COVID shutdown. And there's a lot of desire to help you, and there's a lot of desire to do things to help each other. And I know some of the things that have come up for us are things like our local coffee shop around 2 of our gyms that we have a really great relationship with is putting like QR code stickers on the coffee cups. And people can simply scan those for a 3-day free trial, a 5-day free trial. And they just come in and they scan it and they get a free trial. And because they're local, they go to the local coffee shop, they feel like they're getting something awesome, and they're just scanning a QR code that's a sticker on their coffee cup. And because you've got that relationship with that cafe, they don't mind. They'll stick it on like 400 or 500 cups. No worries. Our local coffee shop goes through like between 400 to 500 coffee cups a day. Like, it's crazy. And these are all people around your gyms. And so have a conversation with the local business owners, see what they want to do. I know my hairdressers are awesome. They're so supportive. And so everyone will definitely come across to try and help everyone out, I think, right now.
Yeah, I think they'll rally together for the common good of the small business owner. I think, again...
Oh, another thing I was talking to someone about the other day is with this coffee cup. No, because Travis had this really good idea ages ago, but I think nowadays it's like a little bit... It's not such a big thing in Australia. Like, I think it would help in elsewhere. But it was the door hanger concept.
Yep.
And so we were talking about how we could make your door hanger concept, but like digital. So it's like you scan your QR code and you become like a member. And that membership gives you in your like Apple Wallet or your Google form or whatever, however tech savvy you are. I have very tech savvy people. It's not me people, we have an amazing tech savvy team. But you can basically give them offers for like 4 or 5 different local businesses. So then they've registered actually to be part of the local Albert Park Club. And so that local Albert Park Club gives them multiple deals, lots of different months. So it might be the local IGA one week, and it might be the hairdresser the next week, the massage butcher, all those sort of things. So we were kind of going, rather than even just outright marketing your gym or partnering for your gym's offers, It's about supporting the local business. And then people are really willing to get on board because you're building a community, you're building a list, you're building trust. And we were even talking about building like Facebook pages, like, the local Albert Park Club. And these offers are presented on there and people have to register to be part of the club to get them.
That's why I married her. She's pretty smart.
Thank you. That's building on your brilliance.
I was thinking about that as well. Just as you were talking, I was like, really good for a Facebook page. And then you said it. I was like, there you go. You can have the Port Melbourne discounts.
Yes.
So like essentially people would get a flyer, a door hanger. I think door hangers are better than flyers. That was my personal opinion because so many flyers go out. But if you go up and put a hanger on someone's door, it's hanging there. And up there it's like 10% off the Port Melbourne Discount Club. These 5 retailers plus many more. They register with a QR code. You have their email address. You can email them on a weekly basis with new offers. But you can also then share the cost of the flyers across the.
Well, see, I wasn't even going to do flyers. I was going to do point of sale QR codes. So the hairdresser has the QR code at theirs. The cafe has the QR code at their point of sale, and you can get an instant discount on your first purchase when you sign up. So it's like if you want to, you get like 50 cents off your coffee or you get a large for the price of a small, whatever, people get their, excitement over. I personally avoid large coffees because it's just water and not enough caffeine. But, you could have an offer to incentivize people to join the discount Port Melbourne Club.
I think it's a really good idea.
Yeah.
And also with your marketing, you can market from these pages.
You can, from the page.
People feel like they're more trusting for some reason
of a generic page
than a small business. But again, we digress into an idea because we get excited together. And I think that's something you can definitely
But it's a good one.
try.
Everyone should do it.
I think you should. It's partnering against strategic alliances, strength in numbers, small businesses.
Small businesses.
I think the other thing when we're looking at referrals right now, team, is you need to be vulnerable. I think with one of the crucial things with us right now is vulnerability as small business owners to our raving fans and customers who love us, who have spent the 6 to 9 months for some places in lockdown, and they know that you could be hurting as a small business owner, and so many small business owners lack the vulnerability to say, what, this is tough, and it is tough. You could be struggling. You have leases, you have financing, some of you have all these things with bills, and you might have lost some members because they may have lost their jobs. So I think for your members who truly love you, you should do a video into your Facebook group or send out a WhatsApp message or an email or whatever you do with communicating with your members going, hey, this is TJ from XYZ Gyms. I can't wait to have you back, or I love that you just came back. But as a small business owner, we need more members to get us to, 1, change their life, 2, make sure that we're a profitable business who can support you the best we possibly can. We currently need 10 new members to grow our business and to give you the level of support that we want to do. So I would love for you to support us by going to this QR code, going to this email, texting me back, whatever the method of delivery
filling
you are.
out your Woofu, your Google form.
Or Woofu form. Give us two referrals because, if I think this is the whole, Simon Sinek thing, I'm going to bastardize it as well, right? Like when he went to the lady in New York who was on the street and changed her sign to give me $2, and instead of it was like, or give me some money, it was like, if you're only going to give money to one person, think of me next time. And it's along those lines. And it's like, if you're just going to refer to one company over the next 30 days, please think of me next time because we need the support and we're all in this together. And that's a level of vulnerability. But vulnerability is true courage.
It's the fear of rejection that's going to come through there. Like I think everyone, when you hear that, part of them goes, oh, but then what if I don't get any referrals? And I think that's the scary part.
And if you don't, you have to, we have to have the learning mindset. And I think if you don't get referrals, you have to go out to them again. And again, this is further vulnerability. And I think this is one of the most crucial things, further vulnerability. It's like, hey team, I put out an offer to ask for referrals and there's like 60 of you, 70 of you, and I got no referrals. What am I doing that's not getting the referrals? How can I increase my service that you are willing to bring someone down for a 7-day free trial? Like, what do I need to do for you to give me that support as a small business owner? And that's at the next level of vulnerability. But you might get some true feedback on your business. It's like, hey, the toilets, they stink, or whatever it is. But then all of a sudden, you've got feedback, and with feedback, we can learn, we can grow, we can become better. And then all of a sudden, you know when you're going to get referrals? If you fix the feedback.
Yeah, surveys. And that's, it's a very important part of your business, COVID or not, is always to, incorporate in some way a feedback loop. And I think, you talk about referrals, and I think, again, most people don't set goals for referrals either. They just hope that someone comes to them and, gives them a referral. I think a lot of people have built a lot of successful businesses with no paid marketing, just referrals, but they ask for them. They have strategies to get them, either it's a point of sale referral, or it's a referral when they've achieved a goal, or it's a referral at a milestone. Like, you've been with us for 6 months. Do you have anyone you want to bring in with you? And you give them a gift. I think a lot of people miss the mark with referrals. They're willing to pay for marketing. They're not willing to pay for referrals. So it's not your job to get people to sell people into your business.
No.
It's your job to offer an opportunity for people who make a community better. And that's the great thing about referrals. They build community and culture very quickly, both good and bad. But you want to make sure that you bring in people and you reward people for giving you, like Pavlov's dog, the behavior that you want them to encourage. So make sure that you're rewarding them for giving you the referral.
Most definitely. I think what Liv was saying is, like, they're not your sales team, they're your customers, and you have to treat them like that. What we need to do is we need to ask them to bring someone in for a free trial or some form of discount offer. When we go into referrals, we can go deep into this, but this is not this podcast. But I think for us right now, when we're looking at referrals and as Liv was talking again, I was going to say, I think this is a great chance for everyone to reestablish amazing goals. And
Yes.
I think not long-term goals, but short-term 30 to 60-day goals. And if you can do this with your clients, you sit down with a group of clients, it's like 6 of them to 10 of them there. Don't do it one-on-one. You want to try and really, be time efficient with this as well. But also you have strength in numbers. So with this, it's like, hey, we really want to start growing on referrals so we can have a tight-knit community and we can really, love and grow the culture here. For us, let's set our 60-day goals, and it's like, what do you want to achieve? Lose 5 kilos, lose 10 kilos, whatever it is, and we set goals, and it's like, amazing. I'm glad that we have these goals, and I will do everything in my power to help you get these goals. All I ask you is, if I can help you lose 10 kilos over the next 60 days, or 6 kilos in 60 days, whatever these 6 people's goals are, can you give me one referral when we get this goal together? And you just have to refer one person, or you can ask for two people for a 7-day trial. I'll help you with this if you can help me with that as well. Can you do this? And can we commit together that you're going to try your best to get someone to come in for a 7-day trial once I help you achieve this goal? And they will say yes. And they say it in front of 6 other people. Now, if they don't do it, they look like an asshole. But what I would also do is, once they get that 60 days and they've achieved that goal, give them a gift, because now we're also leading with reciprocity. So it's like, hey, here's the 60 days. They lost the 5 kilos, and don't put a t-shirt it's like you lost 5 kilos in 60 days. You could have like a goal achiever, so that it can be used for all 6 people. Not right, goal achiever. That's a really bad slogan. But like, get someone who is fantastic at wordsmithing, possibly Liv, and you have this t-shirt where it's like people want, or a hoodie that people want, and if anyone's watching this, I think I look better unfocused, because it just went unfocused.
You yell at me for talking with my hands.
So with this team, what we have to look at is, you're giving them, so they've achieved this goal. You bring the 6 people down together again at the end of the 60 days. You texted them. It's like, hey, you've achieved these goals. I want to give you something together as a team tomorrow. Don't forget, you reminded me you were going to refer someone for 7-day trial at the end of this. Tomorrow in the meeting, just bring that name and number down. So now you've reminded them, and you told them to bring it to the meeting with the 6 other people when you're giving them the t-shirt or hoodie or whatever it is. So they will search. They will find the person, and all of a sudden you have 6 referrals. Now, if you do this across your 60 members, you probably get 30 referrals every 60 days.
Definitely. And I think that comes down to raving fans, and there are other opportunities with those. Always is, one of the things I love that you talk about is ambassadors.
Yeah.
You know, and the real ambassadors, not like the, you know, Insta famous ones, like the ones that will come into your business, adore you, talk about you all the time, and rewarding them for that and giving them some goals and targets around what they already do and rewarding them for what they already do.
I think so. Ambassador program could really work well with the marketing as well. I'm glad you brought that up. You know, we look at each gym having a minimum of 5 ambassadors in their gym, and the person trains for free or at a heavily reduced rate. So what happens is there's a couple of requirements. They sign a contract with this, and you know, every 30 days they have to bring in 2 people or 3 people for a 7-day trial or a 14-day trial into your business. When new members come into the gym, they have to welcome them in the Facebook group and make them feel amazing. They're ambassadors of the club, and they're ambassadors of the culture.
Ambassadors of Kwan.
Of Kwan, as Jerry Maguire would say. Exactly right. They bring you the coin and they bring you the culture. That's Kwan, right? So I think for this, if you have 5 people, you ask them to do 2 a month or 3 a month, you're getting 15 referrals every single month.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy, guys. Like it's 180 referrals a year.
Yeah.
That's really one of the only marketings you would need to do. To get your business to 100 plus members and making the money you want. But, you know, if you want to get more, then you start doing Facebook ads.
But also referral challenges. I think referral challenges and that idea of a competition around how many referrals, and a very visible one. Like I, still talk to everyone about it. It was probably one of my favorite referral challenges, and we've done a lot since, t-shirts and had amazing results, singlets. I'm always surprised with what people do for a cool emoji singlet. But at the end of the day, one of my favorite ones was when you just went down to, back in the day when I think like plasma TVs were pretty cool. Nowadays everyone has them in like 7 rooms, but back then I think all of us who are as young as me would remember when TVs, became flat. And
I'm not that old.
No. So it's like it was really cool. And you rocked up to the gym one day and you just had this like, what now probably isn't a very big TV, but it was a huge TV back then. And you put it up on the wall and you were like, whoever gets the most referrals into the gym gets this TV. And it just sat there in the gym. So of course everyone's like, what's with the fucking TV in the gym? Like, what is that? And you had a big, simple blackboard leaderboard at the top, and you just counted how many referrals people gave you. I think the winner gave you like 15 referrals.
Yeah, that's crazy. I think we got over 100 referrals over the 30 days.
Yeah, it was
if
crazy.
If you're looking at Facebook marketing right now, that's probably about $2,000 to $3,000 in leads. So the TV did not cost me that much, and you could do that once a quarter with a trip to a nice holiday or anything like that. And I think you have to be fun and exciting about that. You have to get people amped up for the referral challenge. Do it once every 4 months. So all of a sudden we're getting 100 leads once every 4 months through that type of referral. You're getting point of sale or goal setting based referrals from all your members. You're getting referrals from your ambassadors. So with this, we're looking at like a couple 300-400 referrals a year if you can do it right. And I think like with this, I was
thinking we should do the gold class. Like you rent out the gold class with like the meal pack. And like everyone gets a free ticket to it with the most referrals that you get.
Yeah.
And because it's so visible, because people can see it, and people haven't been to the movies for fucking ages because of COVID. So I was like, it'd be a really cool visible thing. And obviously like a lot of people share it. So it gets social pressure, like social proof, so that the next time you do the referral, everybody knows they're going to get a really cool experience.
I like that. So this is marketing. I think like this is the key thing for us all. I think we've been talking on marketing for the last 43 minutes. I feel like we understand it has to be irresistible. We have to understand you have to put it in the right place. You have to understand that we're not marrying females at the first time we ever see them. We're giving them
Although
something
Travis
they actually
will tell
want.
you he wanted to marry me.
I did. I chased her across the world. If we are in this relationship for any reason, it's because I am I persevere. I have grit, which is the number one factor for success in life. And my grit gave me
eternal optimism,
which is my biggest challenge and growth marker for success. So that's why I was like, I need to keep you in my life. So with this, that is reinventing your marketing. I think we're going to come back with business model in the next podcast.
Well, we kind of touched on it, so I think we can talk about it next time.
We can talk about it next time. We'll weave in and out of this, but I feel like you've got
lots to digest
from this. Okay, key takeaways. 1, if you want some coaching, you want to get 30 clients guaranteed over the next 12 weeks, reach out to us. fitproformula.com, anything like that, you can check it out. 2, I want you to write a couple of things. Is what two strategies are you definitely going to implement? You might implement a referral strategy, you might implement an ambassador strategy, and flesh it out. If you need some help, shoot me an Instagram message or a Facebook message, and I'm happy to help you flesh this out. If you are going to do paid marketing, what is your offer on the paid marketing going to be? How many leads do you believe you need for your cost per acquisition? If we're doing intro offers, it's one lead for, 3 leads for one sale, or 2 leads for one sale, depends on your sales skill and your follow-up sequence. So if you want 20 new members a month, you need somewhere between 40 to 60 leads through Facebook ads or Instagram advertising. And how are you going to get 10 referrals a month off? How many 10 leads a month off referrals? I think the better quality question we ask ourselves in life gives a better quality answer. So if you could only grow with referrals, social media dies in the ass, and you can't ever get a lead through social media again. How would you grow your business through referrals? Like, what service would you have to do? How would you excite them?
Change?
What would you need to do? And asking these questions start to get you excited. Would you start doing the joint ventures? Would you create a page like Liv was talking about and create a discount club with 10% off to people in the local area, and you gain multiple businesses? Would you do the coffee cup scenario? There's so many things. I want you to write 2 of them down. Let me and Liv know which ones you're doing. Let me know if you need help with it, but just let me know. Like, actually take some action from a podcast, because you go, oh, there's some great stuff we listened to today, but then you're not going to do anything about it.
You got to write it down.
You got to write it down. You got to take action straight away. Next 24 hours. That is the key to success. Action. And if it takes 2 minutes to write the 2 ideas down, then flesh them out over the next 7 days.
It's a lot quicker than watching this again for another 45 minutes to listen to the genius ideas again.
Oh, I know. That is the Travis Jones Show with Olivia Jones. Thank you for listening to us, and we'll tune in next time. Thanks, Liv.
Thanks, Trev.